Views expressed by Casters Guild members are only the opinions of that member, and that could change from day to day. Guild members may use mature language, but that in no way means they are mature. Listener discretion is advised.
Could the MCU be making a comeback? We know the Karate Kid is. And find out one of the best places to get your hobby brushes, because that's the spell we're casting tonight on Casters Guild. Thank you for tuning into this episode of Casters Guild. I'm your Guild Master Rick Perry, and I am definitely not a mimic.
And I am your Guild Master Mimic Kane, and I am definitely not Baron.
And joining us is a brand new Guild member. Feel free to introduce yourself.
Yeah, g'day fellas. My name is Will, here representing Chronicle RPGs, a Australian tabletop publisher, and I wish I'd thought of something witty to say before introducing myself.
That's how Baron feels most of the time.
Oh yeah, no,
I get that.
100%. I go into those cold every time on purpose. Sometimes it works out, sometimes it doesn't. It's always funny.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. I'm actually hard done by Tom, and you guys have told me about this for about a week or so, and you actually gave me a little reminder, but again, just too stupid and lazy.
All right, so you emailed us a little bit before Origins, and honestly, Origins got a little crazy. It was our first time working a convention as media, and we did not anticipate the amount of people who would be ready to talk to us. So I reached out to you afterwards, and you've been gracious enough to give us some of your time after Origins. So tell us a little bit about what you brought with you to Origins.
No, absolutely. Hey, look, thanks for having me on here as well. So what we had at Origins was a little bit of a demonstration of our hobby products there. You might have seen in the email, and for perhaps some of your followers, our brushes. There's like the Wolf Bristle brushes, the Kalinsky Sable collection, the Teflon Tiger dry brushes too. A little bit of an offering, some dice, and some of our other kind of RPGs and things that we're coming out with as well. But yeah, mainly they're representing the hobby front, doing the paint and take, all that good stuff too.
Yeah, I saw some of that paint and take stuff, and I gotta say, even with people who were very new to the hobby, a lot of the stuff came out looking really good, and I'm assuming that has to do with your products. So how long would you say?
Absolutely. There's always a personal element to that stuff too, but look, if we can help eventuate that for people, for sure. Yeah, are you guys painters as well?
I dabble in the hobby. I've got a 40k orc army that is still mostly unpainted.
Those are the best ones to paint, though.
Yeah, they are. And I've done some terrain as well.
Oh, perfect. Yeah, excellent.
Yeah, I'm mostly I'll paint figures. I haven't messed around with terrain yet because I guess I don't have space for terrain. But oh yeah, figures are fun.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, I can see in the back of the video, you've got the walls are slowly filling up by the looks of it there.
Yeah. I've actually gotten into the 3D printing hobby, which I saw your website had some STL files as well. I've gotten to the 3D printing hobby, and because of that, I've been doing a little bit more painting with some larger stuff, not just miniatures. I recently did a 6-inch tall lamb from Cult of the Lamb and painted that after I printed it. And that was a lot of fun.
I love that. Yeah, it's 3D printing is so dangerous in that way. Hey, just the I guess the speed and the quality with which you can get anything you want now. Just same as myself. I'm just looking around the room. There's just plastic crap everywhere, basically. That gonna get painted at some point.
So, how long would you say you've been in the business?
So, started full time last March. That would have been with our first trip to Adepticon convention, actually in Chicago. And then prior to that, I've been working on part-time whilst I was in Army as well. So a little bit of a segue last year. And obviously, thanks for the kind of community support, people like yourselves doing that promotion and some really great staff and everything, just been able to progress it from there.
Yeah, that's pretty great. Why Origins? Of all the conventions you could be setting up shop at, why choose Origins?
Well, look, first of all, the weather was really nice and awful. Reminded me of Australia, that nice heat. I've been in the UK and Canada before. I kind of need to work my tan a little bit regardless. I don't know my camera on, but if people imagine maybe like McLovin, if you went to the gym a little bit more, or maybe like the Temu version of Harry Potter or something, that's kind of where I'm at. But Origins was the tail end of a bunch of different conventions we'd done, and as part of that one is run by GAMA, the Game Manufacturers Association. So we do a lot of trade stuff with another one they do in Kentucky, and basically just made sense to go to that one too. And as you kind of imagine with you guys as well, like, a lot of friends, a lot of colleagues and things go to these ones too. So all the different lifers, all the other exhibitors and things, it's you keep running to the same people and it becomes a great time.
Yeah, absolutely. So you have been so awesome in providing us with something to give away to our listeners, so our listeners can get a peek into what it is your products have to offer. Could you tell us a little bit about the products you're going to be giving away?
Yeah, absolutely. So my understanding is looking at doing a bit of an Instagram raffle, a bit of a giveaway with you guys. And from that, listeners can basically have their pick of any of the brush sets that we have on offer. And as well as that, I'll throw in a couple of little extra gifts as well by way of thanks.
So what we're going to do is, as soon as we post this episode, I'm going to be making Instagram posts. So if you're listening to this episode, keep an eye out for that. And you'll be required to follow Chronicle, follow us, and like and comment on the post. And then we'll leave that up for about a week or so for people to kind of enter. And then we'll pick a winner from everyone who has followed all the directions. And we'll get that stuff sent out to you. And whoever wins, I'm going to be honest, I'm going to be a little jealous.
And so I'll have to send you guys some kit as well, no worries.
We appreciate it.
Unless Baron wins the raffle, I don't know. I'll turn a blind eye to that one.
Oh yeah, I didn't say I wasn't joining. Right?
Exactly.
Look, if I spin the wheel and Baron's name comes up, I'm gonna toss out that wheel and start a new wheel.
Oh,
That's
the fact that you've even got his name on the wheel to start with, I won't question that.
All right. So actually, before we move on to our next topics, I actually did want to say I was looking around your website, and other than just the brushes and some of the hobby stuff, I saw that you had some really nice dice on there, some liquid core stuff, some sharp edge resin stuff, some metal stuff, and even some leftover. It looked like you had some stuff you were trying to get rid of there that was like gemstone.
Oh, yeah, trying to get rid of is that's what way of putting it. Yeah, absolutely. We had a bit of stock left over from a recent Kickstarter. That's it. Yeah, what do we say? End financial year sales. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, the dice and things, as you kind of guys can imagine, like the hobbies got a lot of aspects to it. You might like your painting, you might like playing your games or things. So it just makes sense to be able to offer people those kind of nice quality products in different avenues and things as well. So yeah, dice and everything you might have seen wandering around Origins, a lot of people doing that stuff. And also just try and differentiate and give people something new too.
I will say, if it's still up there by the time that you're listening to this episode, go check that out. I've never seen a full set of gemstone dice for $31 before, and that looks like a really nice set. So if I don't end up buying them up, they might still be there.
I just realized you're talking about US dollars too. I was thinking, that probably explains why I was selling them and putting in Aussie dollars like that. Okay.
All right, and I also saw the Chronicle cards, which are system agnostic and kind of be used with any system you want, and those are pretty neat. I gotta say, Baron is kind of a no prep DM when it comes to the way he runs, and I could see him getting stuck and pulling one of these cards and finding
that's kind of how I do podcasts. Yeah, I get it.
Yeah.
Yeah, the cards actually was one of our very first products there. So just kind of getting our teeth cut in terms of enjoy D&D, enjoy working that space. What's a way that we can create something engaging? So yeah, as far as I think you'll actually see some references. I think Chronicle cards are still the email URL and the website handle, all that kind of stuff as well. Yeah, a bit of a legacy of that, one of the very first products and that first initial support we got from the community to then start moving into all these other things like brushes and all that good stuff too.
But yeah, basically, I guess my point at the end of the day is I really want to encourage everybody to go check out the website and explore around a little bit, because there's little things kind of tucked away in all kinds of different parts of the website where, you might think you're just looking at, a hobby store, but there's all kinds of really cool stuff in there.
And
appreciate it.
Also get ready for our combined project of podcast cards that we just
love it.
All right, with that, we're gonna kind of dive into the rest of this episode here. Something came across my TikTok this past week that kind of hit me with a jump scare a little bit. Did not have this on my 2024 bingo card, but Disney is releasing a pop punk album. The big song that they've talked about so far is Simple Plan doing the Lion King's "Can You Feel the Love Tonight?" And let me tell you, there is a niche audience who is going to go crazy for this.
Yeah, it's weird. I'm not. I don't think I was prepared when I saw. You're sitting there saying you got jump scared on TikTok. Yeah, I'm on my own private Discord channel here, and it pops up and scares the shit out of me. So.
Yeah, I'm. This is a bit of news. First time I've seen this one, but interesting to see how the interpretation goes.
Yeah, I mean, they didn't choose just like, and I don't mean this derogatorily, but they didn't choose some nobody band to do this. They chose a well-known band to pull in here and do this cover, which probably implies that there's going to be, a lot more well-known people on here.
Oh yeah, I mean, I happen to just have a couple friends, and this is the biggest reason this made it up on this list. I happen to have a couple friends who the entirety of their music taste is pop goes punk, and at the same time, they're also the same people who want Disney karaoke. So I know for a fact they're gonna love this album. I'm very excited to see who else they pull for the rest of the songs.
Rancid.
I'm here for it. I'm here for it. That's all I can really say.
They're singing A Whole New World.
Yeah, I don't know. I've been trying to think of something funny, like funny different combinations of bands and music, but it's escaping. It's a little bit early in Australia right now, but I'm sure we can think of something. Probably Tenacious D's off the cards, but someone else maybe.
Oh, yep.
Oh, yep.
I don't know what I was supposed to talk about that one, but I had to throw it in.
All right.
They would have been good, though.
Yeah, maybe half of them, depending on your opinion.
Right,
yeah.
Right. That's fair. That's fair.
That should be good. So, did they put a? I'm just looking through the article properly now. My apologies. Did they put like a release date out for this thing, or?
Not as far as I know. I believe it's set to release next year. As far as I know, there isn't an actual date, and they've only announced one song that's going to be on the album, and they even released that single, so you can kind of listen to that all the way through. So, but yeah, I would say, you know what? They haven't actually said next year. I wouldn't be surprised if they release it for holiday this year.
That would be smart, I think.
That way they can get those Christmas sales.
Absolutely.
And Christmas sales.
So moving on to the next thing, I know I am very late to this party, but I finally got in my collector's edition, my deluxe edition of Baldur's Gate 3 in the mail. For those who don't know, Larian had some production issues, followed by some shipping issues, followed by some customs issues that made it really difficult to get the deluxe physical editions of Baldur's Gate 3 out to customers. And this past week, I finally got mine in the mail after ordering it on the release date.
I blame Wizards of the Coast.
That's an easy one, yeah.
Yeah, they were sabotaging the whole thing.
Oh, absolutely.
So I definitely wanted to bring it up because I finally got to dig into the game proper. I mean, I had a copy of it on PC that I dabbled with a little bit. Never really left Act 1, but now I've got it on PS5 where I am playing it split screen multiplayer with my wife. We're running.
Oh wow! Yeah,
going to be running through the whole game together, which is the biggest reason I got the PS5 collector's edition, because one of the great features on the PS5 version is got split screen multiplayer for the entire thing. But I have to say, it comes with a lot of really cool stuff. It came with an entire new pack of digital stuff for the characters. It came with a new dice skin. It came with a bunch of paintings, an adventures pouch, digital art book, digital character sheets, and that's just all the digital stuff. With the physical stuff,
looking through it, it looks great. Sorry to jump in. The box in the style of like Baldur's Gate 1 and 2, absolutely. Because I'll admit now, I actually haven't had a chance to even play the game, but 1 and 2 are awesome. Hey,
yeah, absolutely. Yeah, as a matter of fact, our listeners won't be able to see it.
Wow, put that away.
Oh. This is the box it came in, which is it's pretty nice.
Oh yeah,
love that.
And
I do love how all the Baldur's Gates kind of stuck with the cover convention kind of, because they all look kind of similar.
Yeah,
you could definitely look at that. Even you could tell it's a Baldur's Gate thing.
Yeah, even if you didn't immediately see the title. As a collector, when it comes to games and books and movies, when you can have things sitting on the shelves right next to each other and they all fit a certain aesthetic, that's way better than like having like two that are the same and then one that sticks out like a sore thumb. But It came with a lot of other really cool stuff. It came with a big old poster of the Mind Flayer. It came with a couple of patches, which one day when I finally get a battle vest, maybe we'll put them on there. It came with a ridiculous amount of stickers. As I was flipping through the sticker sheets, I kept expecting it to be the last sticker sheet, and whoop, there's another sticker sheet.
Well, there's some handy pictures on the promo page you linked here too. They've stuck the stickers on like a rock and the patches on a tree. So there's some ideas for you. You can't get a vest as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
It comes with a map. It comes with the original soundtrack on 3 CDs, which I love the fact that they're still doing physical CDs for the soundtrack.
Mm-hmm.
And everything about the box just screams premium. But another reason I wanted to bring that up is not only did my copy finally came in, but Larian, I thought they weren't doing any more patches or any more expansions. They definitely aren't doing a sequel because they announced they don't want to work with Wizards of the Coast pretty much anymore. But they are doing a late game patch, a new patch that's coming with a lot of really great features. And one thing I love about Larian is they keep releasing these patches and giving all of these features that they could be saving for like a deluxe edition or a definitive edition. And instead, they're just giving them away for free, which is how games should be. And Larian has been hitting it out of the park with the way they are releasing their game, the way games used to be released, and the way they still should be released.
100%. You see the negative effects of stuff like you mentioned, like PlayStation, like Helldivers. I know you're playing that. That's on the PC side, that whole thing of having to log in. You saw how quickly that killed the community. I'm not sure whether it's recovered from that, but people can be finicky. But I think with good reason though too.
Yeah, absolutely. We actually talked about that for a good 3 weeks straight. We're big Helldiver players.
I love that. That's actually another game I had a nice gaming laptop and then just completely bricked it using Photoshop or After Effects one night. So maybe that'll be the justification. I'll have to take your word for it, pick up all these games as well.
So yeah, the Larian is actually looking for beta testers for the newest patch. They're asking people, to come on like the public test version of the game and play it. Just that they're asking people to break it, find out where our weaknesses are. But they're adding an entire mod toolkit to the game. So instead of people having to patch their own mods together, there'll be a toolkit where they can do it right there. They're adding dynamic split screen to where they have the split screen mode where you and your friend are on each half of the screen, but if you get close enough to each other, it just turns into one screen again, so you can see each other on the same screen, which is fantastic. They're adding new companion stories, new dialogue, new romance content, new cinematics, especially on the Dark Urge side of things. Like they're adding, for the Dark Urge, there's a lot of evil endings that they didn't have cinematics for, that they're adding those cinematics for. It's just really awesome that they're giving all of this away for free on their game, especially seeing as how they've already announced we're not going to do any expansions, we're not going to do any sequels. The fact that they're still giving this game a lot of love is pretty awesome.
Oh, you know what? I was just thinking of something.
Okay.
And yeah.
That's good.
So there was a thing going out, and I'm trying to verify it right now because literally as I was about to say it, I saw something pop up that was just like, wait a minute. Have you seen the Emmy nominations for Best Game Show Host?
Yes.
No, I haven't.
So yeah, let me see if I can confirm this. But there is a nominee on there who we shill for all the time. We're absolute whores for this channel. But I think that right? See, now I gotta know.
Okay, let me go ahead and clear it up for you because I'm pretty sure I know exactly what it is that you're talking about.
Okay, good.
So when it comes to the Emmy for game shows and game show hosts or game show series, however they word the Emmy for game shows.
Sure.
Game Changer.
Outstanding host for a game show.
Yeah. Game Changer Sam Reich was on the short list to be nominated.
Yeah, the tweet I just saw was the Academy, the Television Academy will rue the day they snub Dropout.tv.
Yeah. He was on the short list, but he did not make the actual list of nominations.
Yep, again, just like I said, just as I was about to talk about it, that tweet by Erika Ishii popped up on my feed and was just like, oh no, this is dumb. But Jane Lynch took the spot, so I mean, I guess I'm not too terribly upset about that. She's fun. Everybody else was accurate on there. Steve Harvey, Ken Jennings, Keke Palmer, Pat Sajak, but
I feel like Pat Sajak doesn't belong on there anymore.
Not anymore. No.
Like if he was gonna win, which I feel like he probably already has won in the past. If he's gonna win, his time is past.
Yeah, it's done. He needs to step aside. Fallout though has 16 Emmy nominations.
16. It's crazy.
16.
Insane. Hey.
Now, I will say I'm not a huge fan. Awards for things, great. Especially stuff that I'm into. But the Academy, like the Oscars and stuff, I hate them. I hate them so much. I just feel like they're so out of touch with shit. And the whole Pat Sajak thing kind of proves that to me. However, as for Fallout, best drama, including, I should say, best drama, best actor in a drama, Walter Goggins, best writing in a drama. I think it's cool that it's getting classified as a drama, I guess.
I mean, I don't know what else I'd classify it as if not a drama.
Sci-fi?
Even so, I mean, like, sci-fi is almost a setting at this point. I mean, it's kind of like a sci-fi drama.
That's a fair point. Sci-fi is more of a setting, really.
Because you can have sci-fi drama, sci-fi comedy, sci-fi horror.
Sure. I guess that's fair. And I guess if it takes them doing that to give the genres that I'm close to more legitimacy to people who don't know what the fuck's going on, then I'm fine with that.
I was about to say the same. Hey, they've got to kind of toe that line of like mass appeal, essentially, right? As well. Unfortunately, there's that guy chasing the bottom line and wants to see the profitability of it as well.
Yeah, and that's really what it always comes down to.
A similar one. I haven't really been following the news with the there's going to be that like Warhammer 40,000 series with Henry Cavill. I understand he's like dropped out or something now potentially.
Yeah, Amazon I think deigned to not go through with it. They did not greenlight it.
Huh. Okay.
Which is funny because that's kind of one of the reasons he decided not to do The Witcher, and then it ended up just kind of not happening altogether.
Yeah, it's pretty easy to speculate all the different moving parts of that one. Hey, whether it's, you see the stuff about being true to the source material, but look, I imagine GW licensing would be a bit of a tricky one to navigate too. And
yeah.
I was going to say, like, I can't imagine you can really say no to some of these billion-dollar companies too. I mean, it's especially Amazon and stuff, right?
Right. And you bringing up the Games Workshop licensing, I think that's one of the things that I said right from the jump, because they are litigious. They will take someone down for nothing. And
you guys mentioned the 3D printing. Yeah, a lot of colleagues in the 3D printing community have experienced that. I'll leave it at that. But yeah, absolutely.
You got to be real careful about like them, Disney, and then there's and Games Workshop.
Yeah.
Because they will take you down for nothing. Well, one of them will send to Pinkertons.
Well, that's wild. Hey, I didn't even realize they still existed. Hey, I was playing bloody, it's like all the old the history stuff or whatever. Like, still exists. Okay, good to know.
To be fair, they're called something else now.
Securitas.
But they're still the Pinkertons.
Yep, same company.
Yeah,
same. They just had company.
They had to rebrand for some reason. Not sure why.
Yeah, I think it was so. They're just getting too much positive publicity,
Oh shit.
Speaking of things we weren't sure still existed, Redbox is finally going out of business.
Bastards. They took out Blockbuster. They make me mad.
I I was actually one of the few people still using Redbox. I live in a small town in the middle of nowhere in the South, and
yeah, you kind of got to, don't you?
Yeah, when a movie comes out and I don't want to see it in theaters and it's not available on one of the streaming services, and for some reason I haven't gone yo-ho, or maybe I just want to, support with my money some of the movies that I want to see, I actually will hit up Redbox every once in a while. And the idea that I won't be able to go to my local kiosk and do that anymore kind of makes me sad a little bit.
Don't make me feel bad for you, Rick.
You don't have to. I mean, it's I won't be able to go see that movie the exact way I want to. Ooh.
I had a thriving career and they took that away from me, Rick.
Yeah, that's fair enough. So you can celebrate the fact that they have the court has just permitted a transition from Chapter 11 to Chapter 7, which paves the way for asset liquidation. So, yeah. This all started, and I'm just let you know, everybody know, I'm getting this information from an article on Geek Tyrant. This all started when Chicken Soup for the Soul Entertainment bought up Redbox and then a whole bunch of other little streaming companies that you've never heard of in an attempt to become one of the big boys.
Okay.
And then it just did not go well for them. Like, none of the streaming services that they picked up took off. They tried to consolidate it all into like a Redbox streaming service, which nobody used. And then eventually the kiosks just weren't making enough money for them that it's time for bankruptcy.
Yeah, believe me, I realize, firsthand what happens when a company gets a little too big for their britches and they think they got everything going for them, and then no.
Yeah.
I was just looking through that article, like $1 billion in debts. That's a little bit of money, eh?
That's a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's a little bit. I mean, granted, we got like 3 guys that could pay that off a few hundred times, but
Yeah, right. Well, it's pretty funny, this article too. It's like the CEO resigned just weeks after assuming the role, added to the company. So he obviously got in and was like, no, fuck this. He's pretty quick.
What's funny is right before I got my most recent job, when I had quit my previous job, one of the jobs I was looking at was filling the kiosks for Redbox. So I'm glad I didn't go into that as a career.
Oh, seriously. It's funny. It kind of goes back to what you were talking about with the Baldur's Gate Deluxe Edition, though. Like, I think in this age of streaming, even 3D printing and stuff now, we can get everything on demand. Like, if I am getting something physical, like, I want it to be like an experience. I want like the deluxe version. You mentioned like the CDs and everything, like the nice jewel case and everything. Like, if I'm just picking up a Blu-ray from the vending machine or whatever, like, it's I'm not really feeling like it's a great experience. But it's a bit of a pain in the ass. I gotta go get it, go run it back and everything too. Like.
Yeah, there's
kind of too. I feel like we might have. Sorry to jump in. We might have seen it in Australia. I don't know. It's we're about 20 years behind you guys on a lot of kind of random things. So I feel like we might have had these at some point, but maybe we just cooked the company. Like, no one picked it up in Australia. It's all our fault.
Well, I got to be honest. Most of the Redboxes over here too are already gone. There's a very niche market that Redbox still fills, and it's mostly like really small town rural places where it's difficult to get internet, or it's full of old people who don't want to get internet. And
because I was kind of I think you guys were alluding to it before, like, we got some New Zealand right nearby with like the hypothetically I think the pirate based servers were kind of there, so like, for bandwidth and stuff. I can't imagine Redbox being too successful.
Yes. So it's one of those things I'm not surprised at all. It's just there was something about, like, it was the closest I could get to walking into a Blockbuster and looking around, which is a feeling that, like, you just can't get anymore. When I first moved to Tennessee, there were at least some family videos left. And you could still walk in and look around, look at the different movies. And obviously it's more convenient and a quote-unquote better experience to just sit on your couch and scroll through what's on streaming and click what it is you want to watch. But there's that nostalgic feeling, which I'm sure plenty of millennials can relate to, or even Gen Xers, where it's just different.
Absolutely.
And after all the family videos shut down, Redbox is about as close as I could get to that, even if it was just walking up to the kiosk and scrolling through the options there and, like, you know, having it spit out the selection that I wanted. So it's just, like I said, I'm not surprised. And like Baron said, don't feel sorry for me because I won't be able to do it anymore. You know, I can always still just boot up my computer and watch literally whatever I want. It's just there's something sad about losing, you know, those options.
I'll say I completely. I mean, and you know, you're using the, you know, Redbox as your, you know, to describe the emotions that you're feeling for that and stuff. That was me. As much as I did work for Blockbuster, but I worked there because it was a special place to me.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, I ended up getting a job there because of that. And when they closed down, it was just like, ugh, you know, that's gone. But also allow me to be a whore again when
You're allowed.
Thank you. Dropout. They just started doing their Never Stop Blowing Up.
Oh yeah,
that touches on that.
it does.
The whole thing starts out with, you know, it's in a video store, but it's closing. So you got that feeling of, oh God, I'm feeling that all over again. So yeah, it's pretty touching in a way, in a weird way. It's touching me in a weird way, is what I'm saying. Huh.
In your Redbox.
All right, moving on to the next topic here. Karate Kid fans are going to eat well the next couple of years, and we have been eating well, honestly, for the past couple of years, because Cobra Kai, I think, has been a great series. Season 6 is on the way out, and we have a new Karate Kid movie coming out next year.
What year is it? It's so crazy.
What I think is funny is they keep calling the movie the Karate Kid reboot, but it's so obviously not a reboot because it's got both Jackie Chan from the actual reboot. When they rebooted Karate Kid, you had Jackie Chan and Will Smith's kid. Why am I blanking on his name?
Oh my gosh.
Oh, yeah.
Jaden Smith.
Jaden.
So it's got Jackie Chan playing his character from that version of Karate Kid. And then you've got Ralph Macchio also coming in as Daniel LaRusso. So it's kind of merging the Karate Kid worlds here, as well as obviously it's going to have, you know, elements of the Cobra Kai series that has been coming out, you know, the past 6 years.
That's insane.
Yeah, it's I think we are like in this I was talking to my wife about this like the other day. We're in a golden age of adaptations right now. There was a time, and it was not that long ago, where if you saw a video game that was based on a movie, or a movie that was based on a video game, or you heard about, oh, this new movie's coming out and it's a reboot of this old series, you just knew immediately, just based off of that fact alone, it was going to be bad. It was going to be a bad game, a bad movie, a bad TV show. And now, when I hear about an adaptation coming out, I get excited.
Can you imagine being fucking Ralph Macchio and being, let's just say, I don't know, 2005, and you're like, hey Ralph Macchio, because, you know, when you're friends with Ralph Macchio, you have to use his full name.
Every time.
Every time. You're going to be in a movie with Jackie Chan. Now, don't get me wrong, Jackie Chan has kind of fallen a little bit from his superstar status.
True.
But it's still back in, you know, because Ralph Macchio, he had the Karate Kid, really. I mean, yeah, he was in a couple other big movies, but It was the Karate Kid. And then once that was over, I mean, do you really think that he thought, oh yeah, I'm going to make it big? And now he's coming back in a movie, and he's Lord, what, almost 60 now?
Yeah.
Yeah, dug him up.
Right. It's like the only thing I remember seeing him in between like the Karate Kid and like the stuff that's going on now was Psych.
Yeah.
That's it.
Most of the stuff he was in was cameos where they're referencing him as the Karate Kid.
Correct. Yeah.
Like that entire episode he did of How I Met Your Mother.
Oh, really? I missed that one.
Yeah, so like there's one where it's Barney's bachelor party, and one of the things he wanted for his bachelor party was to have the Karate Kid there.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
But he was talking about Billy Zabka, because that's who Barney views as the protagonist.
Well, it's funny. How funny is that, though, that, he's seeing him as the protagonist, and then Cobra Kai comes out, and it's like, holy shit, was he the protagonist?
Well, Ralph Macchio and Billy Zabka both stated that episode definitely had something to do with them rebooting and doing Cobra Kai.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
But yeah,
That's
so
cool.
Basically they were intentionally trying to throw him the worst bachelor party ever. So they knew that was Billy Zabka that he wanted there, but they pretended not to know and got Ralph Macchio.
Oh, okay.
And they also know that he hated clowns, so they got him a clown. And at the end of the night, they revealed that the clown was actually Billy Zabka, and he took his makeup off. And he was like, "I've actually been with you the whole night, buddy."
Oh, man, I don't even care that you spoiled that. That's fucking awesome.
I mean, how old is How I Met Your Mother at this point? They've already rebooted that into a new series. If you haven't seen it, it's your own fucking fault at this point. So, Cobra Kai Season 6 will start on July 18th. So, tomorrow, as of this recording, it'll be out by the time people are hearing this. And the Karate Kid reboot currently has a release date of May 30th, 2025, the movie.
Okay. Wow. Okay. Yeah, I mean, well, I guess, how intense is production supposed to be for something like that? So,
Well, I mean, they've been working on it for a while, so...
Well, yeah, but I mean, you're going to work on a script for a while and everything like that. But I mean, filming, they can just start in probably February and be good by, well, okay, editing. Gotta take editing into account, I guess.
But yeah, either way, I'm excited. I was a fan of the original movies. I can't say I was a fan of the reboot with Jackie Chan in it, but I didn't hate it. And I've been loving Cobra Kai.
Man, you're gonna hate me.
Yeah.
I still haven't seen a single episode of Cobra Kai.
I mean, I don't hate you for it. I mean, like, you're in for a treat, is all I can say. If you ever sit down and watch it, it's good stuff.
I was a huge fan of Karate Kid. Like, the first one, second one, third one. They got Hilary Swank in there, and, it was... I liked it there, too. I don't care. But I don't know. I just haven't gotten into Cobra Kai yet. Or the Jackie Chan one.
Just understand that Ralph Macchio and Billy Zabka's acting has not improved a lick since they were in those original movies. So, and honestly, it's exactly what I want out of Karate Kid.
Yeah, please don't improve.
Yeah. But if you are looking to possibly learn some martial arts and you do want to improve, you know where you could go to get some really cool gear that's better than a stick?
Oh.
You could go to Level Up Lightsabers.
Holy shit.
Could you use an awesome lightsaber for cosplay, dueling, or home decoration? Check out Level Up Sabers, the only lightsaber guaranteed better than a stick. And with lots of fairly priced options, including baselit and Xenopixel, you'll be able to find exactly what you're looking for without breaking the bank.
Every Level Up Saber comes equipped with color change, gesture controls, volume control, sound fonts, and flash on clash. With the baselit options being strong enough to duel with, and the Xenopixel options adding even more cool effects. To check them out and help Casters Guild, click our link in the description.
All right, coming back in, we have a lot of other really cool stuff that's going to be coming out as far as streaming services go. We were talking about it last episode, I believe, where we weren't sure this new stuff coming out of the MCU. Stuff that's been coming out of the MCU previously has been hit or miss. And, we weren't sure what to expect out of each movie and each series as it comes out. But MCU is getting a chance to reprove itself again. And we got an official trailer for the new Captain America, Brave New World.
Harrison Ford's obviously run out of Coke money. He's come back again.
Right? Oh, yeah. No, he needs to replenish.
Yeah, in between the last Indiana Jones, this one now, he's hoovering it up, hey? Oh, good to know.
Yeah. I mean...
hard to segue from that one, right?
No, but you bring up a good point, though. It's like, why is like all of a sudden he's like doing all these things, and again he's got to be what, almost in his 60s? Oh wait, no, that's Ralph Macchio. Almost in his 90s, but it's like,
Yeah.
it's wow. Again, if you went back to 2006 and you said Ralph Macchio, Harrison Ford is going to be the Red Hulk. First off, he'd have so many questions.
Yeah.
Like, who's the Red Hulk? But it's like, why? I mean, I would have never guessed that. I mean, probably William Hurt when Iron Man first came out. Yeah, sure. Yeah, I could have seen him playing a good Red Hulk. But Christ, now Harrison Ford. I'm not trying to be ageist or anything, but Christ.
Well, I think one of the best part of the fact that he's going to be the Red Hulk is that he won't have to do most of the acting.
True. I mean, yeah,
it's going to be the CG.
He's just going to be a voice actor at this point.
Yeah.
But no, I'm really excited to see where they are going to go with this in general. Well, I love Isaiah Bradley, so I'm glad that they're bringing him in to the movie.
Mm-hmm.
Samuel Stearns coming back as the leader. That's huge.
Are we not even going to talk about the villain?
I mean, he is one of the villains.
I mean, I meant Giancarlo Esposito.
Oh, I don't think he is the villain. I think he's a villain, if he's even a villain. He's not. The character that people are suspecting him to play is not a villain.
I could be mistaken, but I thought I had read an article where he was in an interview and he called himself the villain.
Well, he also made everybody think that he was going to be Magneto there for a little bit too.
Fair enough. And Marvel does that shit all the time, where they're like, "Oh, it's totally going to be this thing," and then the movie actually comes out and it's not.
Right, and then I'm sure
it's hard not to. Like, he's so typecast in that. So, like, he does a great job with it. Hey, but it's impossible not to see him in those roles. Hey,
absolutely, no. If he was to come out and be like, "Hey, I'm the bad guy," it's like, of course you fucking are.
Yep.
What else would you think?
But I don't know. I mean, it's still a little early to tell. But from what I've seen in the trailer, I'm excited for it.
I will say this: I'm looking at Screen Rant. And he is saying, again, I don't trust a damn word that comes out of his mouth. But he's saying that no one has guessed yet who he's playing. So I'm almost willing to believe that he may even be just a character that is made up for the movie.
I could see that, yeah.
But one of the big theories is he's playing George Washington Bridge. And he was a member of the Six Pack with Cable.
Okay.
And so they're thinking, like, some of the people like New Rockstars is thinking that he's going to be a government agent that is doing like wet work and stuff like that, but he's still like working for the government. However, I would also like to point out that George W. Bridge ended up, I could be wrong, but he ended up leading S.H.I.E.L.D.
Okay. And I'm not saying I'm not saying that what I'm about to say has anything to do with what you just said, but I think the MCU would be making a mistake if they didn't include an X-Man in every property that comes out for a little while, because if they want to merge the X-Men into the MCU, they have a lot of catching up to do, and there should be a mutant in like every MCU property that comes out, even if it's just a cameo. So, like, even if they just hint at a particular mutant here and there, like there should be one in every property at this point.
Obscure trivia fact. Did you know that there is a character in Captain America Brave New World who is a mutant in the comics?
I did not.
Yeah. Falcon.
Falcon's a mutant.
Sam. Yep.
Just not the MCU version.
Do you know his mutant power is?
I don't.
He can speak to a falcon.
Oh, okay.
Just one, or like all of them, or
I think it's just that one falcon.
Just the one.
Okay, all right. You'd be pretty pissed off if that was your power, honestly. Eh? Like, it's not ideal.
Hopefully, it's one badass falcon.
Well, it's his falcon. Like, you know how in the MCU he has that mechanical
Red
thing?
Wing.
Red Wing is an actual falcon in the comics.
Yeah,
and that's who he can talk to.
I mean, they gave it a nod, I guess. That's all they got.
But you know, it'd be cool. It'd be cool is if they made the new Falcon a mutant.
Okay, yeah, that would be pretty cool, I think.
So, like, yeah, mix it up. Let him take on the role of Falcon, which he does have but the new Falcon's weird. Even in the comics, I think he's actually part bird, like for real.
Ooh.
Yeah,
They made some choices.
There were choices, yes. But I'm excited.
All right, other stuff that's coming out. We got a trailer for Rick and Morty, the anime.
Weird.
Yeah, I mean, like, they've been hinting at it with little... Well, I don't even know if they were hinting at it with some of the shorts they did previously, or if the shorts just did so well that they were like, let's make this a thing.
Okay.
But the Rick and Morty comics have been playing around with the timelines for a long time about, like, the different universes that you can end up with as they portal hop and stuff like that. And I think they're running out of ideas for the main series. And so they were just like, let's just do a new series and just set it in an entirely different universe and do something somewhat entirely different and see what comes out of it.
Mm-hmm.
I know you've never really been a big fan of Rick and Morty.
No.
I am, especially, you know, when they recognize that they need to get rid of one of their creators because he's not a great guy and they have no problem doing it.
Yeah, that's right.
And they just keep going. They're just like, well, we don't have to shut down. We'll just, you know, chop off the dead limb of this tree and replace him with a new voice actor and keep going. Which could have something to do with them doing this new series, too.
Yeah, I think that they're kind of reeling, and they're trying to do what they can to... I don't want to say stay relevant. That seems to be, I don't know, maybe an overused phrase, relevancy and stuff like that. But in this case, I think that maybe they're just... You know what? They're trying to pull themselves out of a hole.
Sure.
Which, you know, isn't necessarily the fault of the other cast members, but it's there nonetheless.
And a good point on the relevancy piece, I guess, from like a business perspective, is like maybe on that anime angle, it's a new kind of customer base or, you know, viewer base as well. Maybe like any of the streaming services, like what's the anime one, like Crunchyroll and all those kind of things too. Like, I don't know, it's being that cynical about it, obviously, but you know, there's probably at least a little bit of a financial decision behind it too.
Oh,
maybe
yeah,
animation's cheaper.
Yeah, everything's always a financial decision when it comes to these guys or any production company, really.
Seriously.
Even things that they say aren't financial decisions, like if it's a creative decision, it's still somewhat of a financial decision.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
But yeah, I mean, not a ton to say about it. It's a thing. It's happening. It's exactly what you expect it to be if you've watched any of the shorts that have come out that are like in an anime style. We'll see where it goes. Back over to the video game side of things. The very first arcade game that my daughter fell in love with is Taiko no Tatsujin. We played it at MagFest, where they have a ton of, you know, kind of niche arcade cabinet setup. And we're finally getting a version of it that's specifically made for America in American arcades and kind of places where... Yeah, absolutely.
So... I'm sure this game is sweet. I'm sure it's great. I'm sure it's a lot of fun. The takeaway that I'm having is, where the fuck are our arcades?
in places that you wouldn't expect, that like are way too expensive cost of living wise for us to live.
Next to the Redbox DVD machines.
Son of a bitch! Hey, you know what though? That would be a great fucking... That'd be a great one, too, though. You know, you go in there and you play your games, you come out, there's a Redbox there. Jesus.
There you go.
All right, it's our next project, guys.
I will say, it's funny you say that, because in all actuality, the kind of places where arcades thrive in America are about as far away from anywhere where there's a Redbox as you can possibly get. Because Redbox are out in, like, the non-population dense, like, non-technologically advanced areas of America, and the arcades are only in like the most populated, most tech-centric, most advanced places of America. And then every game costs like $5 per play instead of a quarter, and you got to like get one of their cards where like they put money on it, and then you go in and scan your card every time you want to play a game, so you don't even realize how much money you're spending every time that you play a game.
Oh no.
Yeah, that's how arcades work in America nowadays. Which is why it's only in the high affluent areas. But this version of Taiko no Tatsujin came out in Japan in 2001, and now we're finally getting our own version of it in 2024, 2025. I'm not sure when it's actually coming over here, but yeah, I think it's great that we're actually finally getting it.
November in that article, hey, because I was clicking through the links you sent through, and the first video in that, man, it's a fucking 6.5 hour video. It's like, hey,
yeah,
be watching all this to be prepared.
He makes me
these drums for a while, yeah.
He makes me watch them.
Good. I hope so, yeah.
Yeah, because I'm not going to do it. Yeah, But if nothing else, I think what's really cool about it is conventions like MagFest and other similar conventions where people can bring in their cabinets, to use as arcade rooms. This is always draws a crowd. It's always a popular cabinet, and it's all people who have to have them imported from Japan, and half of them don't even have English put into it. So you really got to know what you're doing. If nothing else, it's going to make it easier for people who do collect these cabinets to get a version, because they don't have to have it imported. They can get it right here in the good old US of A. And it'll be in English, so they can actually read it.
Joke's on you. I can't read English.
All right, and I think the last topic we have for tonight is another one that I don't have a ton to say about. Maybe the other people on the podcast will. I just wanted to point out that it exists. So a Geek Tyrant article came across my feed to let me know that there is a YouTube video for cryptids from every state. And the YouTuber, I sat there and watched it, and I thought I was just going to skip to like the states I've lived in. But after watching those ones, I ended up watching the entire video because this dude is pretty entertaining and there's lots of information. So I know a lot of our audience is really into cryptids. This is a good resource right here.
Yeah, I was looking through it. So which state are you guys based in?
So I live in Tennessee currently.
You're in Tennessee right now. I'm just going to scroll through to Tennessee.
For the Tennessee Wild Man? Yeah.
Tennessee. Have you had any experiences with the Tennessee Wild Man?
I can't say that I have.
Okay, maybe it's one of those things like, if you can't identify the Tennessee Wild Man in your group, maybe you are then. Maybe it's yeah. Like, is the Tennessee Wild Man in the room with us right now?
I can tell you I'm not, because the Tennessee Wild Man is 7 foot tall and I'm 5'7".
Okay, you are sitting down right now though. I've got you. I know you're tricked.
Yeah. That sounds like a good.
It's all camera angles, man.
Oh, and man.
What about yourself, Baron? You're not Tennessee as well?
I'm in Ohio.
Ohio. What's the Ohioan one?
Ohio, we have a couple. I think the Flatwoods Monster is ours. The Lakewood Frogmen.
The Frogmen is the one that they show in this video.
Oh, is it?
Yep. Mm-hmm. Yeah, just going through it now, eh?
We also have a werewolf. My hometown, even a little town called London, actually has a werewolf story as well.
So you guys just kind of went through like the Spirit Halloween sale section. Yeah, I get that.
Yeah, I think that Spirit Halloween is also a Ohio cryptid as well.
Yep, I had to have that explained to me. Hey, the fact that it was kind of like these stores pop up and disappear as quick as they came.
Yeah, oh yeah, crazy. It's crazy.
They just pop up in the corpses of stores that didn't do so well.
Yep,
love that. Look, all of these.
Maybe that's the angle for Redbox. Then maybe
I was about to say
stuff. Yeah.
all these Redbox kiosks are going to be Spirit Halloween like mask and pin kiosks. Or maybe they'll just take them over and do like D horror movies.
Oh yeah.
I was thinking of like Australian cryptids. I don't know. I don't want to spoil the fun for all the Australians that fuck tourists. But you guys heard of like drop bears? You've heard of that one?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, good. Okay, there's still like that one or two people that still fall for it, which is awesome. But look, as long as you guys are tracking, yeah. For context for your listeners, basically, it's you get the cute and cuddly koala bears, and then like if you can find someone who's going to fall for it, doesn't have to be American, could be anyone. you just basically spin this story about how they're like deadly creatures, and their claws are venomous or poisonous or whatever. But yeah, if you can get someone, it's fucking gold, eh?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
I saw a video of a journalist. Oh, she was from the UK.
Oh, yep.
That was so good.
Yeah, because they get her in like the protective equipment, and it's like an American football, like, protective gear, like a rugby helmet, like.
It was so good. And she was so afraid because
Yeah.
the people who had the koala were like, they're like, oh wait, don't do that, don't move. And she's just like freaking out. Oh, it's so good.
You feel sorry for it too, because like the people that are like there, no one else is wearing protective stuff. Everyone's like laughing and smiling. She's being filmed. It's like, why would you film this?
And actually, Australia does have a cryptid that isn't necessarily pulled from like Aboriginal myth and spirituality and stuff like that. But the thiasaline, I could be pronouncing that completely wrong.
Like the Tasmanian tiger. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, that is like actually one of the big cryptids that I really enjoy. And it's going to sound bad, but it's like I have this thing about animals that have been recently deemed, extinct, and then people are like, no, I still saw one. And I love those stories because I think I have that hope that they really are still there and still out there, just getting their population back up. But
yeah, it's pretty sad, the that story of like the last thylacine in captivity or whatever too, because I think correct me if I'm wrong, but I think they just like forgot to feed it or something. They just like came out the next morning and was like, oh fuck.
I mean, yeah, that is sad. It would have been even worse if it was like they had a breeding pair and like one of them died because they forgot to feed it. That would have been the worst.
Yeah. Well, maybe that's the conspiracy. Like, big Australia just wants you to think that.
Oh, that's right, big Australia.
But yeah, I would say definitely go check out this video. I'm originally from Maryland, and I was disappointed when I found out what Maryland's was. And I say found out, I knew this existed. I was just hoping there was something better, because Maryland is so unoriginal. Their cryptid is Chessie, which is just...
Oh, Jesus.
It's just the Loch Ness Monster, except it's in the Chesapeake Bay, so they call it Chessie. So it's nothing original. But what I would say...
Flat Earth, like Loch Ness and Chessie probably connected anyway, right?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, exactly. Like, just think, team, think,
But one of the funnest things about collections of cryptids like this, if you are somebody who likes to run TTRPGs and you're looking for like a monster of the week to throw at your players, one of the cool ways to connect it to your players, if you throw a local cryptid at them, just look up your cryptid for your local area, find out as much as you can about that cryptid, and just turn it into a monster in your game, and it's a lot of fun.
Just be aware too. I just want to put this out there. Just be aware that there are cultures out there that still have these, what a lot of people call cryptids, as part of their cultural heritage, their living cultural heritage. So if there isn't a respectful way to use it, maybe don't.
Yeah,
so
agreed.
Stick to Chessie.
Yeah, like Chessie. Leave Chessie alone.
Man, I totally called that the last topic, and like I'm just going to throw this in on the back end because I forgot about it. Once again, don't have a lot to say about it. I just want to let people know that it exists. The Jackbox Mega Picker just became available to wishlist on Steam and is going to be released on July 29th. And for those of you who play Jackbox on Steam, basically what this is going to do is it's going to take all of the games that you have across all the versions of Jackbox and put them all in one place so you can pick them instead of having to switch games every time, like switch packages every time you want to switch games. So, yeah, it's pretty great. Go wishlist it on Steam. That way you know as soon as it comes out so you can add it to your collection. So with that, we're going to wrap things up here. Will, if anything, anybody like what you had to say and then want to find you somewhere on the internet, where can they do that?
Hey, yeah, appreciate your time, fellas. Thanks for having me on. Thanks for everyone for listening too. Probably the easiest way would just be our Instagram, which is Chronicle RPGs.
All right, perfect. And email us at castersguild@gmail.com. Tell us about your local cryptid that didn't make the YouTube video. I'd love to hear about all the local cryptids. Join us on the Discord. That's where all the fun stuff is happening. And make sure to check out the giveaway on our Instagram as well. And we will see you in the next one. Bye-bye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye. Bye. Bye. Bye. Bye. Bye.
Watch out for the drop bears.